Hello everyone, I'm going to explain section E of the previous year's question paper 2025 to 2026 set A. Let me explain section E answers. There are three questions in section E. As you can see in section E, there are case studies. There are case or source based questions. The 34th question is a passage with regard to print and censorship. The 34th question is regarding history. There is a passage pertaining to print and censorship. I'll just skim through the passage. You can skim through the passage. You can even take ample time to read through the passage. Make sure that you don't invest a lot of time in reading the passage. The answers are there in the passage itself. This is a passage regarding print and censorship. I'll read the passage. The power of printed word is the most often seen in the way governments seek to regulate and suppress print. The colonial government kept continuous tracks of all books and newspapers published in India and passed numerous laws to control the press. During the First World War, under defense of India rules, 22 newspapers had to furnish securities. Of these, 18 shut down rather than comply with government orders. The Sedition Committee report under Rowlett in 1990 further strengthened the control that led to imposition of penalties on various newspapers. At the outbreak of Second World War, the Defence of India Act was passed, allowing censoring of reports of war-related topics. All reports about Quit India movement came under its purview. In August 1942, about 90 newspapers were suppressed. Shall we discuss the first part of question 34? Explain the meaning of censor. The answer is there in the passage. Can you locate the answer? Yes, you have to find the word censor in the passage. Let us understand the meaning of censor. So, what is censor? Let me explain the first part. Censor means examining and controlling books, newspapers, films, or other forms of information and stopping the publication of content considered objectionable by government. Shall we move on to the 30? Can we move on to the second part of 34th question? That is, why did the colonial administration keep an eye on the books and the newspapers? This is the question. The answer is there in the passage. So the answer is like this. Why did the colonial administration keep an eye on the books and newspapers? This is the answer. The colonial administration kept an eye on books and newspapers because printed materials could spread ideas of freedom and nationalism and encourage people to oppose or go against British rule. Can we discuss the 34th question, the third part of 34th question? We have discussed the first two parts of 34th question. Now let us discuss the third part of the 34th question. Why did Gandhiji start a nationwide satyagraha against the Rowlett Act? Give any two reasons. Let's see what the answer is. The answer is Gandhiji started a nationwide satyagraha against the Rowlett Act because the act gave the government excessive powers. The British government could arrest people without a trial and imprison them for a long period. It violated civil rights and freedom. People could be arrested merely on suspicion, and this threatened basic rights and justice. Now, let me discuss the 35th question. The 35th question is a passage regarding an experiment in Brazil. So I'll read the passage. A city called Porto Alegre in Brazil has carried out an extraordinary experiment. In combining decentralization with participative democracy, the city has set up a parallel organization operating along the municipal council, enabling the local inhabitants to take a real decision for the city. The nearly 13 lakhs people in the city get to participate in making the budget for their own city. The city is divided into many sectors, or we call wards. Each sector has meetings like that of Gram Sabha, in which anyone living in the area can participate. There are some meetings to discuss issues that affect the entire city. Any city of the city, any citizen of the city can participate in those meetings. The budget of the city is discussed in these meetings. The proposals are put to municipality and takes a final decision about it. I know it is monotonous when I read the whole passage. I have read the passage. This passage is pertaining to civics. I'll be answering the three questions with regard to the passage. Let me answer the first part of the 35th question. Explain the meaning of participatory democracy. The answer is there in the passage. I'll explain. Explain the meaning of participatory democracy. Participatory democracy is a system in which citizens directly participate in decision making and governance. It is a system in which citizens take part in decision making and governance. Now, this is the next question. In the context of separation of powers, the given examples defines which type of government. It defines a decentralized form of government, that is the local self-government. The third question is describe the structure of the Indian system in India, which is almost similar to the above example of Brazil. India has a Panchayati Raj system in rural areas and municipalities. As you know that India has Panchayati Raj system for ruling, and municipalities and municipal corporations in cities or urban areas. Villages have Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat. People participate or effectively take part in local decision making and development activity. I hope I made myself clear. I have told you all the three answers of the questions given in the three parts of 35th question. The 35th question is a passage pertaining to civics. I have read out the passage loudly. I have also answered the three questions in connection with the passage. Now I'll move on to the 36th question. The 36th question comprises of a passage from economics. I will not make you bored by reading the whole passage. I'll tell you that this passage is regarding loans from cooperatives. Let me answer the question. If you want, I can just tell you what this passage is about. This passage says that banks and other source of cheap credit in villages are cooperative societies. Most of the members of cooperative pool their resources for the sake of cooperation in certain areas. There are several kinds of cooperatives possible, such as farmers cooperatives, weavers cooperatives. So this is with regard to loan from cooperatives. There are cooperatives like industrial workers cooperatives. This passage itself is in connection with cooperatives. I'll be answering all the three questions with regard to this passage. This is the first question. Cooperative societies come under which source of credit? The answer will be given in the passage itself. So you don't have to think what the answer could be. The answer is provided within the passage. You don't have to invest a lot of time in contemplating what exactly the answer could be. The section E is considered to be one of the simplest sections in the question paper. You will be given passages. You have to read the passages clearly and answer the questions regarding the passages. So the first question is cooperative societies come under which source of credit? The correct answer is cooperative societies come under formal sources of credit. The second question is mention any two sources of capital cooperative societies. The correct points are the two sources of capital of cooperative societies are deposits from members as well as loan taken from the bank. Now let's move on to the third question. Explain the role of cooperative societies in increasing the income of the farmers. Cooperative societies basically provide loans at low interest rate. Now, cooperative societies are known for providing loans at less interest rate for farming activities as well as for the sake of agricultural equipments. They assist farmers to increase their production and enhance income by catering their financial requirements easily. I hope I have answered all the questions. The answers are given in the passage. You have to find out what the answers are because the answers are regarding the passages that are given in the question paper. That's all for now. I'm winding up right now. I'll be discussing the other questions from the other question papers. I'll be discussing the question papers of 5 years. I'll be discussing a lot of questions of social science and English. If you have any doubts, you may ask the doubts without any hesitation. I'll make sure that I'll clear all your doubts pertaining to English and social science. I'll be explaining the answers of the English question papers very soon. I'll be definitely helping you out in English and social science. That's all for now. Let us conclude the session. Bye bye.